This is from a working paramedic in the New York Fire Department, the FDNY.
It's been a crazy week. The call volume is 6,500 or better. Last night was 6,900 again. There's been a lot of people dying. I'm getting phone calls from crews who are doing 4, 5, 6 arrests in a tour, cardiac arrests, people dying, that they're trying to work up. This Sunday I did 12 cardiac arrests in a 16-hour tour. It's suspected that most of them are COVID related, as the patients' families have told us that they have similar signs and symptoms of what's going on. The sick leave for the FDNY EMS unit is about 20 to 25%. That's people who have contracted the virus and are out sick. Thankfully, some of those people are starting to come back in, but we do have a lot of members who are really sick with it. We have 2 members who are intubated. We have about 7 or 8 members who are in the ICU, and a whole bunch of them are in quarantine. Roughly about 700 people in the fire department are being monitored for this. So it's a serious virus, and we're out there on the front lines battling it. The governor today said that he thinks it's going to reach its peak, and I hope he's right. He's doing a pretty good job, giving it to us straight. But out here in the streets, it's nothing but ambulance sirens.
The paramedics, the doctors, it's not just the amount of work that is being put on them, it's the risk to them at the same time. It's just impossible to ask what we are asking of them, and yet we are.